Imagine a war without direct battles, but where the entire world was at stake. That was the Cold War, a period of global tension between two superpowers, the United States and the Soviet Union. It was a silent confrontation, fueled by opposing ideologies and a fierce struggle for worldwide influence. This conflict didn't involve soldiers from these two nations fighting each other on a battlefield, but its impact was felt across every continent, shaping the destiny of millions. It was a war of nerves, of spies, and of ideas, where the prize was global dominance. After the devastating end of World War II, the world didn't find lasting peace. Instead, it split into two major alliances: the Western Bloc, led by the United States, and the Eastern Bloc, led by the Soviet Union. An Iron Curtain, as Winston Churchill famously called it, descended across Europe, dividing the continent. Maps were redrawn, new treaties were signed, and strategic pacts like NATO and the Warsaw Pact solidified this new global balance. There was no direct confrontation between the superpowers, but the world lived under a constant heavy pressure, a feeling that a global conflict could erupt at any moment. This division wasn't just geographical, it was ideological, pitting capitalism and democracy against communism and authoritarianism. At the heart of this tension was an unprecedented race for power. The development of nuclear weapons created a terrifying new reality. Both the US and the USSR built massive nuclear arsenals, enough to destroy each other many times over. This led to the doctrine of mutually assured destruction, or MAD. The idea was simple and horrifying. If one side launched a nuclear attack, the other would retaliate with equal force, ensuring the total annihilation of both. This fear of a final apocalyptic conflict hung over the world for decades. But the competition wasn't just about bombs. Espionage became a crucial tool, with spies from the CIA and the KGB operating in the shadows. Propaganda filled the airwaves and print media as each side tried to win the hearts and minds of people around the globe. And a relentless technological race pushed the boundaries of science, from military hardware to the conquest of space. While the superpowers avoided direct war, the planet became a giant chessboard for their strategic moves. This led to numerous crises and indirect conflicts, often called proxy wars, from the Berlin blockade, which divided the German capital, to the Korean and Vietnam Wars, where the superpowers backed opposing sides. Regional disputes became flashpoints in the global struggle. The Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 brought the world to the very brink of nuclear war, a moment of extreme tension that is still studied today. The rivalry extended beyond the military. The space race captivated the world, as the US and the USSR competed to be the first to reach the moon. Even sports became a battleground, with the Olympic Games turning into a showcase of national pride and ideological superiority. Economic embargoes and trade restrictions were also used as weapons to weaken the adversary. By the 1980s, cracks began to appear in the Eastern Bloc. Decades of economic stagnation, coupled with growing internal dissent, put immense pressure on the communist regimes. In the Soviet Union, leader Mikhail Gorbachev introduced revolutionary reforms known as glasnost, meaning openness, and perestroika, meaning restructuring. These policies were intended to save the Soviet system, but they ended up unleashing forces that would lead to its downfall. Popular pressure for freedom and democracy grew stronger across Eastern Europe. We saw the solidarity movement in Poland and mass protests in other countries. Culminating in the symbolic fall of the Berlin Wall in 1989, the world watched in awe as profound transformation swept across Europe and parts of Asia, signaling that the end of an era was near. The final chapter of the Cold War was written in 1991, following a failed coup attempt by hardliners. The Soviet Union formally dissolved, breaking apart into 15 independent republics. This event marked the official end of the Cold War. The bipolar world that had existed for over 4 decades was gone. The planet entered a new, uncertain chapter, leaving behind decades of silent tension and the constant threat of nuclear annihilation. A new world order began to take shape, one where the United States emerged as the sole superpower, but also one filled with new challenges and opportunities. The Cold War was the conflict that defined the 20th century. Even without a direct, large-scale war between the United States and the Soviet Union, Its effects are still deeply felt in our contemporary world. It shaped political alliances, influenced national borders, and left a legacy of technological advancements and unresolved regional conflicts that continue to impact international relations today. Understanding this period is crucial to understanding the world we live in. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, please give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. See you in the next video.